And we have been successful in securing an international grant to support reading improvement in Belize. The program is called Literacy Alive. We've been coming to Belize for probably 10 years working on literacy, but COVID really changed the type of work we're doing. I think you're well aware, because we've certainly heard it from teachers and social workers and business owners, that COVID really had quite an impact on young people. And because schools were closed in Belize for more than 2 years, serious regression in reading has occurred. And your school teachers and administrators, your parents, your community, they're well aware of that. And this is not unlike anywhere else in the world. There were serious problems impacted on children as a result of COVID. Young children are at a time when they are developing their brains. They learn very quickly if you teach them when they're young. And when it comes to reading, it's extremely important that they have a strong foundation in oral language development and in phonological awareness, which is phonics. It's learning how to decode words. And they also have to memorize words. Well, many of the students across the country missed critical time in schools to get that training. And that resulted in what many people locally have told us is a crisis. Back in Alberta, where we're from, we have a pretty generously funded education system, and our teachers are very well trained. And our government minister of education, early in the COVID pandemic, saw that we were going to have to do a lot of hard work to bring children up once the pandemic finished and school resumed some sort of normalcy. I don't think it has returned to normal yet, because we see lots of problems with children on socialization, on learning routines, and on their reading. In countries where there are more than one language spoke regularly, and Belize qualifies there, where Creole is a very important language, but it's not the official language of education. And teachers are telling us all over the country that children's oral language English vocabulary diminished considerably over COVID. And you can't learn to read if you don't speak the language first. You might be able to read it, but you're not going to understand it. So that's something that has to happen. We have to aggressively build English language vocabulary. And that's because all of the textbooks, all of the tests are in formal English. They're not in Spanish, they're not in Creole, they're not in other languages. In this country, they're in English. Well, teachers across the country are realizing not only do children have a depletion of their language, they've got a serious depletion in reading understanding, in decoding words, in sight words. So they're falling drastically behind. So we began some work right after COVID with the District of Toledo and Cayo. And what we did is we brought the same program here that Alberta's using. Alberta invested millions of dollars in developing a reading intervention program. And last year when we were in Toledo, I had Dr. George Giorgio with me. He's the primary researcher of this project. It's a culmination of 20 years of his research. It's international research, and he was hired by the Alberta government to design a program that was easy to administer and was a fast-track way to get children reading. And that's basically what it is.
And I've been working with the Literacy Alive team for almost 12 years. I do the part from the librarians. We represent the librarians in the whole country of Belize to work with the schools to implement the activities that we are doing with the reading intervention. We do storytelling, we do songs, we do drama, whatever it is that can complement the reading intervention to help the children to learn to read. We try to make connections with the teachers, we work with the schools, we even do parent literacy to encourage parent involvement in their children's reading foundation so that they can help them. So that is what basically we try to do to have the schools, the teachers work with the librarians, because most of us can do the intervention also. So we are basically like, we can work as a support for the teachers, you know, to help the children learn to read better. My experience with Literacy Alive, actually, I have learned a lot from them. They have actually helped me to better myself in terms of how to promote reading in our community, in how to engage with teachers, how to engage with our community to do things that they need us to do for them. For example, like community needs assessment, plan of action, to do evaluations with all of the activities that we have been doing and engaging with the community. They have been an integral part in our libraries, training us to work with our community and making our community a better place, you know, for more development. So.
Yes, my name is Monse from Montserrat, and I am the publisher of Cupola Productions. We have been producing Belizean books since 1973, and we are very, very pleased to be able to partner with this program, because we have always understood that reading is the key to success, really. And it opens the door to knowledge, to really it's lifelong learning. And this is the reason why we have always been very interested in literacy. Our books are used in this program. The stories in them are relevant to the children, and that's what we're trying to capture their attention, because if you read a story that captures your attention, your interest for reading will always be there. So we try them to get excited about the stories and about reading.